Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. It is time once again for your favorite podcast and mine, Midnight's Edge After Dark. I am joined once again by the lovely Mr. Tom Connors. How you doing?
Thank you so much, and thank you for noticing my hair.
Yes, it's a lovely shade of meat.
It is indeed.
Yeah, I always tell people I'm not going bald. I just have shiny
This is
pink
the
hair.
flesh look, yes.
Yes.
And how are you doing tonight, Rob?
Oh, I am doing fantastic. And, of course, I am Mr. Rob Robot Shlomo, coming to you from Shabby Road Studios in the heart of the Elm City. We are the fifth most traffic congested city in New England. Yes, all highways lead to nowhere, really, essentially.
Oh, boy.
So we've got a bit of a lean show for you this week.
It has been lately. Until the winter season kicks off for films, it is kind of quiet for the most part, and let's just move along. The box office. Interesting weekend at the box office. Happy Death Day did $26 million opening. Big year for horror. If I remember right reading earlier, this is the highest grossing year for horror films. I'm sure It had a lot to do with that, and It came in at fourth place, right behind The Foreigner, which opened up with $13 million. That stars Jackie Chan. And Blade Runner 2049 came in at second place with $15 million, and that brings its haul up to $60 million so far. The Mountain Between Us is at number 5. American Made came in at 6th place. The Kingsman Golden Circle came in at 7th, dropped 2 spots. And the Ninjago movie was what I was going to say. The Lego Ninjago movie, I can't wait till that falls off the top 10 because I'm sick of saying it. I'm sure it's a great movie, and I have nothing against it. It's just, that's fucking hard to say. Anyway, the Lego Ninjago movie, so I have to say it again, coming at 8 with $4 million, and then Victoria and Abdul rounded off the top 10 at number 10, and My Little Pony, which opened up last weekend at 4th place, drops all the way down to 9th place with a paltry $4 million, bringing its measly pull up to $15.6 million. Not good for this film, because if I remember right, reading the budget was somewhere between 12 and 15 million. Not good.
No. The bronies were not out in force.
Well, I think they scared the regular fans away, probably. I mean, I know, don't get me wrong, I'm sure plenty of bronies are just fine, but most of the ones I've met, kind of creepy. So, honestly, and if you don't believe me, look it up. There's My Little Pony sex dolls out there, folks. So just saying.
We didn't need to
There's
go there.
obviously an audience and a customer for that, and there you go. And honestly, if I had a little daughter, I would not take her to the theater thinking there's a bunch of sweaty bronies there. I just know. So that's possibly what drove a lot of people away. And I know I'm going to get some pissed off people out there, but I don't care. Seriously, I've met like 3 bronies in my life, and they're all creepy.
But there's that line, you know? You know what I mean?
I don't know. I mean, I don't want to judge.
Yeah, we try not to judge, but
and I'll make fun of people just like me and myself. Hell, I'm one of the most self-deprecating people I know, and so is Rob. So, I mean, we'll sit there and have a contest if we have to at who can be more self-deprecating and humor-wise, but still.
Yeah.
It's been a marvelous weekend and weekday today.
Yeah.
We got some new Marvel trailers, did we not?
Woohoo! Certainly did.
Well,
it's really a Marvel and a half trailer there.
So why don't we talk about the one first that we don't really want to talk about too much.
New Mutants.
A New Mutants trailer just came out of fucking nowhere. I mean, we knew it was coming, but...
Yeah, so if anyone out there is really not familiar with New Mutants, and if you listen to this podcast, I don't see how that's possible. They're kind of like the Teen Titans of the X-Men, really. I would say. Right. Wouldn't you say that's about accurate?
Yeah, and okay, that's kind of where, and that's a good jumping off point here to where I was intrigued by this. I like the idea. I've been, never been a huge fan of this series as far as the comic books go, but I was always well aware of it, and I've always been an X-Men fan, so I thought that going with this horror tone might be the wrong direction.
Might be?
Okay, I'll rephrase that. What the fuck were they thinking? This was supposed to be your movie that would appeal to a younger audience, okay, fine, go with the horror, screechy, scratchy shit, whatever. It doesn't appeal to anybody else other than a very select few, I bet, after a while. Now, don't get me wrong, the movie could be great, but I did like the whole use of the Pink Floyd Wall song. I'm a huge Pink Floyd fan, so I did kind of like that at first, but then as the trailer progressed, I felt like I was just watching some run-of-the-mill horror movie that comes out every other weekend anymore, you know, like the Haunting of whatever place, you know what I mean?
Yes.
They were going more for a supernatural aspect than a mutant aspect, I guess is what it felt like to me. But go ahead, Rob. You've got more of an insight on this.
Well, that's the thing. It feels just like, it doesn't feel very Marvel related. It doesn't feel X-Men related. It just feels like a generic horror movie. This could be any horror movie. It's like they had a horror script just sitting around and they decided to plug these characters into it. And
I think some other people were saying something very similar.
Yeah. And honestly, this is not a property that I really would think about being a really good movie. And it's not a property that I really think about in general. If anything, I think it might make a good television show for a network like FX or even the Sci-Fi Channel. Like, the Sci-Fi Channel likes to spend money. Jeez.
It'll have fucking flying sharks in it if they do it on the Sci-Fi Channel now, Rob. Don't give them ideas.
The new mutants take on the Sharknado, yeah. But like I said, I don't, and there are people who are going to disagree with me about this. I don't know of anyone who was really asking for this movie. I really don't. I don't think anybody really wanted this movie. Yeah, I mean, there's already a New Mutants movie. It's called The X-Men.
Yeah. Because, yes, horror movies have a loyal fan base. You're going to get a lot of horror fans that will go see this. You'll get a few people that are interested in the property because they know what it is from the comic books, and as soon as they turn around and tell their friends, avoid it because it's nothing like the comic books, they'll trust their friends, and, you know, that's why a lot of people turn to us here, is because they trust us because we're just like, you know, most of them, you know, we love this stuff too. We don't want to see it turn to shit. And like I said, we never know. This movie could be a lot better than this trailer's presenting, but what we've gotten from this trailer don't look good. So.
Yeah. If anything, I picture New Mutants more as a lighter kind
I was waiting for
of,
fucking Chucky to pop up or something, or Freddy.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, especially, you know, Freddy Krueger, like, that's what it felt like. So it looks more like a Nightmare on Elm Street movie than it does a X-Men movie.
Yeah.
Nightmare on X-Men Street.
Yeah, all this is further mining the X-Men license so they don't have to give it back to Marvel.
Basically.
Oh. We need to do something, X-Men, let's do the New Mutants.
To be fair, they do have Phoenix coming out, but
New Mutants were never a dark and gritty property. I mean, yeah, you had a few darker aspects. With Ileana, who was Colossus's sister, you know, but it was never. They're kids. They're just bumbling kids.
Let me tell you what. We're talking about Hollywood here. And one thing we've learned about Hollywood in the number of years that I've watched and been a part of ME now, and the number of years that you've been a part of Midnight's Edge, Hollywood learns the wrong fucking lesson every time. You know, and I know that Logan made this fucking happen.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, Logan is still probably my number 2 film of the year thus far, maybe 3 after a couple, you know, like Guardians and Apes are up there, but it's definitely fighting for second spot with Apes. Regardless, that is what made this movie happen.
Yeah.
And that's what they're going for. So expect this going forward until it doesn't make any money. And that's one thing that Andre and everybody around here at Midnight's Edge, we want to tell you guys is this: you vote with your wallets. So if the movie doesn't look that good, hold off till somebody tells you otherwise, I guess, that you trust.
Everyone out there who says, I want to see such and such, where do I vote? I'm like, no, you don't get a vote at that time. You get a vote after the movie's over. After the movie is in production, after production, when it's in theaters, you vote with your wallets.
And this also,
you don't like.
Go ahead.
You don't like something. You don't go see it.
Right,
okay?
and that's
the thing.
That's exactly it. Because then that also goes against, I know some people who feel like, oh, if you're a fan, you should support everything. No. By supporting stuff that is not good is going to just basically ensure that you're going to get nothing but shit down the road. Because if you keep giving them money for shit, Hollywood will keep shoveling you shit.
Yeah, that's what it comes down to. Complaining online doesn't do anything.
Yeah, they hear it, but they don't care. They always take the wrong lesson from everything. You guys got to remember that these people in Hollywood live in their own little bubble, in their little office, and all they do is watch money go in and out, in and out, in and out. And they listen to focus groups.
When all is said and done, the one thing they're gonna ask themselves: did New Mutants make money? And if it did, that means we're going to get more.
And if it makes a shitload of money, we're going to get a shitload more.
Exactly. But anyway, speaking of getting more, let's talk about the trailer. We did actually
way too long about New Mutants. Yes, Rob.
So, Tom, we both saw the Black Panther trailer.
Didn't? Oh, right, wrong Panther. Anyway, no, Black Panther, yes. Loved it.
Loved it.
I mean, I guess, like I think I told you beforehand, I mean, I'm just or a little bit more excited than I was before. A lot of cool shit in this trailer, too. I like it. I thought it was pretty good. The effects were much better this time out, too, I gotta say that.
Oh, yeah. I liked it, too. I'm not a huge fan of rap, but, like I said, this has got me excited to see this. So, I mean, they're not giving away a lot in terms of the story, actually, which is good. Which I don't want to know the whole story.
Yeah, it gives you a good idea.
Yes, it's just a power struggle. There's Killmonger. He wants to be king. You get an idea, but you don't know really where this is gonna end up. And Wakanda looks fantastic. It really does.
Yeah, just the design and like I said, the effects look much better in this trailer as opposed to the last one as well. Yes, there's some stuff that was a little cartoony in this one, don't get me wrong, but it looked a lot more polished than the last one.
Yeah, but since we like it, Jesus, how do we stretch this?
Right, exactly. This is where I thought it was going to be the opposite, but yeah, no. What was your favorite part of the trailer, I guess, then?
My favorite part was seeing I think they were in Tokyo or in looked like they were either in Tokyo or Korea. There was nighttime. He jumps on top of the car.
Yeah, that's my favorite part too.
He takes the tire off with his hand.
Yep. I mean, I like the whole thing, and I mean, I thought, like you said, you're not a big rap fan. I don't mind rap. The music at first was off-putting until I started seeing it flow with the trailer. I thought that was kind of cool. A little bit Baby Driver, but I thought it was kind of cool. Then it got a little better as it gone on. So that just, at first it kind of was off-putting, and then it just kind of flowed better. So, I mean, as a trailer, this is probably one of the better trailers Marvel's put out. I mean, it doesn't give you a bunch, like you said, but it gives you enough. Moving along, I guess, since we both enjoyed it. I mean...
Yeah, like I said, you think we'd have more to say, but we both liked it. So usually when we don't like things, that's when we got a lot to say about it. Sorry, no Trek log. As we've seen, the Trek log is its own thing now.
I must say, actually, it's not only its own thing, folks, but thank you for making it like the #1 show in almost every record we have so far at After Dark. Congratulations, Rob.
And you people don't realize how much pressure this puts on me now.
No, I'm sure it'll be fine. We got a lot of great stuff coming for you guys on that, so stay tuned for more Trek Log. So yeah, the Trek Log is its own show now, so I think this next show will be a little bit different than the previous show. We'll probably get into more than just one subject. But we'll see. We'll let you guys know. That'll be coming later this week, I'm sure. So anyway, yeah, congratulations.
Oh, thank you. I couldn't have done it without you fans, actually. Humble, humble, humble. So anyway, so what do we got next? We got the roundup.
Yes, sir. Yeehaw.
Ladies and gentlemen, buckaroos, it's time to saddle up and head out the pasture for the roundup. Yeehaw! So Tom, you're a Netflix subscriber, right?
I don't think anybody's not.
I'm recently on the Netflix train myself.
And even if I think, even if you're not, you got somebody's password.
Exactly. Exactly.
No girlfriends, no boyfriends, your sisters, your brothers, your cousins, your mother.
The guy down the hall who let his password on his router slip. So Netflix has added 5.3 million subscribers in quarter number 3, beating its forecasts. This story comes from Variety. Netflix keeps the streaming train going at full tilt in the third quarter of 2017, adding more subscribers in both the US and abroad than expected. The company gained 850,000 streaming subs in the US and 4.45 million overseas in the period. Analysts had estimated Netflix to add 784,000 net subscribers in the US and 3.62 million internationally for quarter number 3. We added a Q3 record 5.3 million memberships globally, up 49% year over year. As we continue to benefit from strong appetite for our original series and films, as well as the adoption of internet entertainment across the world, the company said in announcing the results, noting that it had under-forecast both the US and international subscriber growth. Shares of Netflix popped to record highs in after-hours trading as much as 2.7% after closing up from 1.6% to $202 per share before reporting the Q3 results. So someone's getting rich, and it ain't us. So.
Well, I think what this is like, I guess everybody wants to see Fuller House. I guess. I don't know. I haven't watched it. No, that makes sense. This is the new cable.
Yeah.
It's the new cable.
Yeah, and I keep saying Netflix is almost its own TV network. It really is.
Oh, it is. It really is. Hulu is. Amazon, Hulu, and Netflix are going to be duking it out here in Disney, which we'll get into that a little bit more here, I guess. Because, the whole Disney thing's coming up on the horizon.
Oh, yeah.
So, and that did hurt Netflix's stock here a little bit ago, didn't it?
Yeah, they took a little bit of a hit, but it sounds like they've bounced back.
So, yeah. Oh, yeah. I wish I had stock in Netflix right now, that's for sure. I wish I had stock in anything right now.
I'm kicking myself in 2004 for not buying that Marvel when they had the IPO. I really am.
Oh man.
Marvel announced an IPO, and I did not buy any stock. Damn it. Well, of course, I didn't know what the opening price was though. So,
Right, but just imagine now with all the, other than the comic company, everything else is making money. Yeah. So, anyway, so this is not surprising. But it will be interesting to see what happens over the next few years as far as, like you said, they are all like networks now. You have so much of they're spending another extra $1 billion this year on their own content, correct?
It's like $6 billion or something, isn't it?
It was $6 billion last year, and I think they're going to spend another $7 billion this year, I think is what the estimate is now, or whatever they said. I think that's what the story, if somebody knows better, then correct me, but I'm pretty darn sure that's what I read. So it makes sense. You got Amazon and Hulu that are really nipping at their, heels at Netflix, trying to do what they do just as well. It's a mistake in some arenas how things are going. And I just read recently that they still have quite a base for their DVD by mail subscription yet, too, which is kind of surprising, if I could talk. No, which is kind of surprising. I didn't know people even bought DVDs or rented DVDs and watched DVDs anymore because, we'll get into that.
Well, actually, we have said this before. There are quite a few movies that are not on Netflix streaming. And so, but they do offer them by DVD. So,
right.
And it used to be under one plan. Now the plans are separate. So, I mean.
Well, and the digital revolution is here. Even if Netflix doesn't have it, you can go to Amazon and get it, or Vudu and purchase it. YouTube, you can rent and buy movies off YouTube now. Of course, iTunes. It's so easy. But no, I was kind of happy to hear that because seriously, people, buy more DVDs and Blu-rays.
Yeah.
We don't want to lose that.
We don't.
And there's some big announcements about that coming up here, and I don't want to spoil it right now. I want to let Andre do that. So, yeah, we'll get into a lot more of that later. But anyway, it just doesn't surprise me, like you said. So, Fuller House, man. Adam Sandler.
Zippity.
I get him in there.
Zippity doo. So, anyways,
Zippity doo.
Speaking of,
that's the name of his next
Zippity
movie.
doo. Well, anyway, speaking of old television shows that have been rebooted, you mentioned Full House. I was a fan, actually, of this one back in the late 90s, early 2000s. Do you remember Roswell?
I do. I didn't really get into it, but I do remember it.
Well, actually, Roswell does have a Star Trek connection, and I'll explain that in a bit. Roswell reboot with immigration twist in works at the CW from Amblin. Amblin Entertainment is, of course, Steven Spielberg's company.
Yes, sir.
This comes from Deadline. The CW has put in development Roswell, an hour-long reimagining of the 1999 series, like the original. The new version is based on the Roswell High book series by Melinda Metz. It hails from Amblin Television, Bender Brown Productions, Bender, bite my shiny metal ass, and Warner Brothers Television. Written and executive produced by original scribe Karina Adley Mackenzie, the new Roswell reflects the realities of its location in a state bordering Mexico. After reluctantly returning to her tourist trap hometown of Roswell, New Mexico, the daughter of an undocumented immigrant discovers a shocking truth about her teenage crush who is now a police officer. Okay, now I'm already not liking this. He's an alien who has kept his unearthly abilities hidden his entire life. She protects his secret as the two reconnect and begin to investigate his origins. But when a violent attack and long-standing government cover-up point to a greater alien presence on Earth, the politics of fear and hatred threaten to expose him and destroy their deepening romance. Kevin Kelly Brown, who was an executive producer on the original series, is the link that connects the two Roswell incarnations. Besides him, it's a whole new producing team. And actually, one of the original executive producers on the original Roswell was Jonathan Frakes.
Ooh.
Yes, and actually he did make a couple cameos on Roswell. So they had a convention. They had an alien convention. He was actually one of the guests. And they actually did a thing where one of the characters went to the set of Star Trek, Star Trek: The Next Generation. So, yeah. But the whole idea was that it was It was a tween romance story, Young Were Doubles, but it was actually had a good twist on it, and making him a cop. I'm not too crazy. But a lot of these shows go through rewrites, and they go through several different reworkings. So anyway, the Venom. Speaking of Marvel, we did a Marvel story earlier. There's more movement on the Venom movie.
Oh, lovely.
Yes, Veep actor Reed Scott in talks to join Tom Hardy's Venom. This comes from Variety. Reed Scott is in talks to join the cast of Sony's Spider-Man spin-off Venom, starring Tom Hardy. Riz Ahmed, Michelle Williams, and Jenny Slate are also on board, with Ruben Fleischer directing. Sony had no comment on the casting. Scott Rosenberg of Jumanji, Jeff Pinkner of The Dark Tower, and Kelly Marcel will write the script for Venom. Avi Arad and Matt Tolmach are producing, along with Amy Pascal, Palek Patel, and Eric Feynman, who are overseeing the production for Columbia Pictures. The studio has made it clear that Spider-Man will not be in these standalone films, but has left the door open for Venom to possibly appear in other Spider-Man related movies. Venom hits theaters on October 5th, 2018. Hooray.
I fell asleep. Is the show over yet?
Not quite.
Oh, sorry. No. Did I snore?
No.
I drooled.
No. That's Tom's level of excitement for Venom.
I fucking don't care.
Nobody cares.
Nobody
cares. If you can find somebody...
And I love Venom.
I'm mildly indifferent toward Venom. So
I know you don't really like him that much, but I do. I mean, as far as like Spider-Man villains go, he's like number 2 for me, right after the Green Goblin. Or actually 3. between Green Goblin and Doc Ock. I gotta say, number 1.
I like,
but anyway, point is,
I like Kraven the Hunter as a Spider-Man villain.
He was never one of my favorites. I get a lot of people. He gets a lot of love. I
Yeah.
get that. I just, he's not. So yeah, I just kind of seen him as more of like a prototype Punisher. But anyway, point being, if you've gotten me to the point where I really don't care, especially when you're telling me it's going to be R-rated, it's going to be Carnage versus Venom, Tom Hardy's in it, but you got one glaring fucking problem.
No Spider-Man?
How the fuck can you make, and excuse me, I'm probably going to have to start bleeping some of this with the way YouTube's going, because now swearing gets flagged, and yeah, anyway, point being, how the bomb do you make this bomb without Spider-Man? It makes no sense.
Yeah.
It makes no sense.
Well, actually, if you start bleeping things out, then it becomes funnier. So that's
true.
that's
True, because I can just start going like bleeping up random and nobody. It could be anything per dishwasher.
Why did you beep monkey?
All right.
But like, we're not looking forward to the Venom movie. Nobody I know of is looking forward to the Venom movie. If you are, please let us know.
Yeah,
Somebody out there.
If you are, that's cool. I mean,
somebody out there's got to be looking forward to it. But speaking of things that nobody's really looking forward to,
my mom might like this.
NBC to redevelop Nancy Drew reboot series.
She's just going to use her phone for everything. You wait.
Well, this comes from Variety. A Nancy Drew TV series is once again in the works. Variety has confirmed. NBC, nothing but crap, is developing a new series based on the iconic novel series after CBS attempted such a project last season. The new series still hails from writers and executive producers Tom Felton and Joni Rater. Joan Rater. Sorry to call you Joni. But and executive producer Dan Jinks, who developed the CBS version. CBS Television Studios is also still attached to produce. Okay, now here's the hook of the series. The new series follows the author of the most famous female teen detective book series, who is thrust into a real-life murder mystery. In need of help, she turns to her two best friends from childhood, who were the inspiration for all those books, and the women who have a real axe to grind about the way they're supposed to be. And the women who have a real axe to grind about the way their supposed best friend chose to portray them all those years ago. But wait, there's more! This will be a completely different version than the original at CBS. That project would have focused on Drew, now an adult who works as a detective for the NYPD, where she invests.
Okay, so I'm assuming that corporate bullshit obviously had a Nancy Drew series in works too, I guess.
Yes, they did.
Sounds like. Or I'm sorry, did I say corporate bullshit?
Well, we're bleeping those out anyway, so we can.
Oh yeah. Fucking.
Well, anyway, yes, the CBS produced series was going to focus on Nancy Drew, who worked as a detective for the NYPD as an adult, where she investigates and solves crimes using her uncanny observational skills, all the while navigating complexities of life in the modern world. Sarah Shahi, who also starred in the CBS drama Person of Interest, since its second season, starred in the pilot as Drew. She is not currently attached to the NBC version. Okay, now, that version doesn't sound horrible, because it just sounds like a regular cop show.
Right, actually, I was going to say, here's the thing, and taking all jokes aside, one thing I about constantly when they try to take an already male character, like the Ghostbusters, for instance, when they tried to do that whole gender swap thing. Instead of coming up and trying to do that, I always say, why don't you use this plethora of already well-established female characters that are already out there? Wonder Woman proved that in spades. It doesn't matter how I felt about the movie, it still proved my point, that there are plenty of strong female characters. This is a strong female character, and you're right. The corporate bullshit version sounds better than the nothing but crap version. That's for sure.
Like I said, it just sounds like a regular cop. It sounded like a regular cop show. Now you're bringing in 2 additional characters. It just sounds like a cluster.
I don't know about the whole meta. Oh, they wrote. It sounds like they're just trying to work in a goofy gimmick for no good fucking reason. I'd actually would rather see, like, okay, it's Nancy Drew's, the original Nancy Drew's granddaughter or some shit like that. That would be a little more interesting than that. Even though it'd be so on the nose, don't get me wrong. But, point being, the CBS one sounded better. Seeing her as an adult in the NYPD. That is actually something I'd be like, oh, yeah, that sounds interesting. If they get the right people involved, I might check it out, kind of thing.
But, well, anyway, I don't have much more to add, and that's the roundup. I guess I don't.
And that's pretty much the show because we've done shot it to shit, and it's a lot longer than we thought it was going to be. But hey, I had fun.
I always have
Rob?
fun. We try our best for you people.
But we have all kinds of great stuff coming up for you. If you haven't noticed, we've tried to finally get a lot of content out there for you. Hopefully, we can keep it up.
Phrasing, keep it up. Well, as we said before, if you haven't checked it out already, check out the Trek logs. Check out the podcast at Here Midnight's Edge After Dark. Check out the main channel for the mini documentaries and other specials. And if you like the show, and if you like what we do here at Midnight's Edge, then please click the subscribe button. And don't forget to click the bell icon, and you'll be reminded when new content is uploaded. And if you really, really, really like the show, then consider supporting us through Patreon. Your support through Patreon helps us make the show better by we take your support and we invest it in new software, new mics, new stuff, all to help the show be better for you. And if you can't support the show through Patreon, then please subscribe. But Patreon supporters will get various bonus content, extras, bloopers, outtakes, special mini documentaries, behind the edge making of videos, and you will get the full uncut Alien mini documentary audio. And I keep saying that because you don't know how hard it was for me to record that. So.
Yes, it was indeed. But yeah, so check Rob's Trek log out if you haven't already. Captain Rob's Trek log, that is.
I'm under a lot of pressure here, people.
We got a lot of great stuff coming up for you guys, so I think it'll be fun.
Yes.
I think it's going to be a lot of fun. So until next time, Rob, thanks for joining us.
Thank you for joining me, Tom. And we will catch you next time.